going. All right. Get started with Ford. Was watching this kind of throughout the day. See that rising wedge here. Then you see this MACD up top here getting real toppy, right? As soon as that breaks down, you see this breakdown too. Retest 50, bounce off the 50, breakdown. Now it's bouncing off some prior support, which was some prior resistance, now acting as support. MACD kind of looking like it's starting to reverse. This would probably be your best entry at 25, like I was talking about earlier. You could even go as low as 24.80. That'll bring you to that 200 EMA. Let's see what it looks like on this. Yeah, I spoke about this on the last stream, where we typically get this large breakout here, and then you get kind of a retest of that breakout level before reversing and starting to trend back higher. Basically, people want to see if this level holds here. If it doesn't, you'll probably see a retest down here at low 24s. Anything under that, you got that 50 EMA right there, and you also got some support down here. So it's got quite a bit of support to hold it up, but this is like textbook breakout play. Breakout, retest, and then most likely it'll start pushing up again to try and retest that resistance. What's the daily? Yeah, no. We'll start with futures. See how this looks. Yep. Happened again, that wick. Gotta love that wick right there, man. Spoke about it on the last stream too. Typically we get this. Recently we've gotten this wick right here. Just kind of fakes people out, gets people to chase before they eventually pull the rug on us. So we could even go like that, say it's at some support, but kind of like to do this right here. If this breaks down here, what is that, 46.30, or really anything under this line right here, we'll probably see a larger pullback down to this area before we can expect a bounce. But we do have that 50 EMA there holding that level. So let's see what the smaller frame. Yeah, so this would have been your target to go short for sure, or your not your target, but your this should tell you right here to go short for sure. Anytime you see that cross on the 5-minute to either the upside or the downside, right here you see a little cross. Okay, safe to go long right there. We saw it cross over down here. That's clear sign to go short. It's known as a death cross to the downside. Something you're seeing a lot on AMC and GME. On the larger time frames. On the shorter, could just be daily, intraday stuff, but on the larger time frames, this is a lot more bearish than compared to the the shorter time frames. Yeah, dude, still holding up support. I really want to take this under 20, but probably won't touch it until it actually breaks that support for a move back down to like 14-ish, 14, 15. Or we can see this last little bounce here to the 25, 26 area, before another pull. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. If you guys are here, just just type in the chat or something. Let me know that you can hear me, and all is good. One second. All right. So I guess you can hear me. Okay. Cool. So yeah, like I was saying, this could see a bounce here off this support into 25-ish, 26 area. Kind of see if we can get that little 50 EMA reversion. Ultimately that'll probably play as resistance still. So yeah, the only way I would probably take a bullish trade here, I mean, you could play it off support, but this downside pressure is just way too strong right now. Not really the best for buying calls right now. But like I said, you can see that move here. But you'd really want to see a breakout above this level, try and get back above those EMAs before you could eventually see a move, to the, I want to say 30 level, most likely. But yeah, this thing's kind of dead, bro. Same with GameStop. Like I said, you're seeing the same thing there. That death cross, breaking down support, but it's kind of got some support right here as well. So I'd say the meme stocks are probably one of the biggest focuses going into next week, just because, strictly because of that death cross. That's not really a good sign. It typically tends to be pretty bearish. So let's get back to futures. Yep, like we said, that's kind of had some support right there. Wicked out. Let's see what, this is going to be bad. Yeah, that's pretty rough. So now we have what's known as a scout wick, right? This massive wick down here. Typically you'll see those wicks fill. So yeah, we're breaking down support. We're kind of at some minor support right here, but for the most part, the support is pretty much broken. Yeah, so I would probably look for a fill to that 1500 level on the NASDAQ futures. That's just ugly. Really, really ugly. Yep, see there's that death cross on the 5 minute. Anytime you see that, you can probably take a short position, because that would have performed very well today, as you can see. Let's see. Fubo, yeah, I got you. What's going on? All right. Always start with the larger time. Oh, hold on. Yeah, you always want to start at the larger time frame so you can kind of get a grasp of the the overall trend. So just off first glance, we got this kind of support level that it's at, where was prior resistance over here and now acting as support over here. Kind of blew out of the chance of getting a double bottom here. As you can see, it kind of broke down and then went back up to retest that, where this is now acting as resistance. Yeah. Death cross on the daily, that's pretty bad. I wouldn't really be bullish until you kind of see it get back over both of these moving averages, for a reversal. But for now, it's probably not the best place to be, especially considering, what they're doing with interest rates and how bad that's ruining, growth tech names. So this is pretty ugly. The only thing you really have going for you is this support down here. I'm not sure if you're long or short, but basically, yeah, that's kind of what kind of the key levels you should look at here. Probably low 13s if you're going to scalp some calls up to the 14, 15 area. But yeah, no, majority bearish on this. Let's see, where is the Dow? The Dow was doing pretty well today. I want to get rid of this stuff. Yeah, it was doing pretty well today. Gonna draw a little fib retracement here. Alright, so as you can see, this is still kind of in a good trend here. You still got this uptrend going. You got the 50 EMA holding up fairly nice. I'd probably look for a breakout move like above this 36,500 area. And above that, it's kind of got some room to the 38, but I'm not so sure. Market's looking pretty bearish lately. Let's see. It's actually surprising. You get all these cancellations with these, all these travel stocks, but the Dow is, still performing pretty well. I think Boeing had a pretty good day today, but I hate this stock with a passion. Now at that fib level there. Excuse the messy charts. It's kind of something I leave up because these key levels from this retracement is always going to be there until either breaking down or breaking up above. So right now I'd say it's at some pretty solid resistance here. Still kind of curling over. You got this action going. But I guess you could look at it this way. It's back above both EMAs. That's a good sign, but hitting some pretty heavy resistance. So you could probably look here for a short position, try and take it down to like 180, 186. But ultimately, I'm kind of thinking we'll see another pullback probably to this 173 area over the longer term for sure. Let's check the small caps. See how that's looking today. Yeah, that's still in the chop zone. But, you can kind of look at it this way. This support has held pretty strong for quite a while. The only thing, I would really look out for is, again, that death cross. Watch for this blue one to break down the yellow. If that actually ends up happening, this would probably be one of the best short positions you could take, considering with that breaking, it'll probably break down on support, and you got kind of a ways to go before. See over here on this volume profile, you got a ways to go really. But the reason it's been so choppy here is because of this massive volume node. Typically the chart, and it'll kind of stick to these nodes, and that's why you've seen it kind of trade in this range for quite a while. But this could be a good buying opportunity if you're bullish on small caps. But like I said earlier, the way the Fed is looking and what they're doing with rates, it's probably not going to be the best place to be in. But traders will trade, so you can see this as support down here, and it's proven to be pretty strong in the past. So I'd probably look for that key level 2107 on the Russell futures. Let's see what that is for IWM. Yeah, so that's about 210, 209 area. That's probably where I'd look if you wanted to get, a little dead cat bounce trade. Start with Apple. Spoke about this last night. This is a pretty good spot right here. We getting we're getting that pull. We saw that earlier when this broke down. I was kind of talking about how you'll probably see this curl over and probably retest that support again at 167, 168-ish area. But yeah, this is, not looking the best for sure. Actually, let me look at a smaller time frame. Let's see what's happening there. Yeah, man, that's just just beautiful right there. I drew that a couple days ago. You just see how much price reacts to the technical analysis and how you can use that to your advantage, because clearly that's a resistance point. And if you would have drawn it a couple of days ago, you would have seen that and probably taken that. But yeah, I'd probably look for this current level to break. Really, you can probably get a nice pull down to this 168, like I said. Oh, Tesla got axed today. Yeah, that's crazy. But it is right on this 50 EMA. That can be some support right there. But anything lower, that's got a ways down to 980. If you want to take a short position on this, that'll probably be your best exit right there. Anything breaking down below this 1030 area, you could probably see 980. Especially with this MACD down here, it's starting to curl back over. Yeah, so definitely keep that on watch. Yeah, I kind of got faked out here. I got in here, ended up holding my spread too long, hitting stop loss, but happens to the best of us. On to the next, right? BBIG, let's see what's going on. I'm gonna start with the bigger time frame, remove these drawings. I mean, the one thing you got really is this support here. Really nice support. As you can see, every time you get this tap down here, you get a pretty good run. Even that one, holy shit, that was crazy. But the one thing that's pointing out to me right here is this moving average resistance. You got the death cross right here. That should tell you that it's probably going to be bearish for a little bit until these reverse. Yeah, that's not really the best sign, especially because you kind of tested this 200 EMA here at 390 and then immediately sold off. So I'd probably keep an eye on this 330 level as well, where the 50 EMA is at. And anything under that, you'll probably see this 240 to $2 area. But I mean, the only thing that's kind of looking bullish to me is this MACD right here. It kind of starting to flatten out for a little bit, but that could come right back down. I would want to see a more bullish move and get that above the above into bullish territory before actually taking on any trades, especially because this is a typical pump and dump. As you can see, every pop is sold off. Good for traders, but if you're buying this to hold this long term, you better be ready for all that manipulation that's going on with it. Let's see. Okay. What was SPY? We kind of did that already with the futures. Yeah. Dude, all these are just getting hit hard today. Wow. Oh shit. Yeah, you can kind of draw it like that right there. You got that scout wick like I talked about earlier from 265, bring it all the way down to 256. You also, you still have this, you still got this gap right here to fill Where is that at? That's at 233. So, you know, kind of still got some room to the downside if it continues to play this, you know, this channel here. But, you know, you see how strong that 50 EMA is, either support or resistance. It always tends to be pretty strong, especially on the daily. That's why I like using it a lot. Yeah, but like I'd said, under 265, I'd probably look for a move to 255 and then eventually go to fill that gap at 230s. Yeah, I'm kind of expecting a little bearish from the market heading into the weekend, just because Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Probably gonna be, you know, that's markets closed that day, so you'll probably see some selling in anticipation of that tomorrow. And really more selling would probably bring us down to here, 45 and 46. Yeah. So keep an eye on that. AMD is kind of the same as NVIDIA, but it's got some support here at 130. I'd say anything under 130, you could probably take a short position for a move back to like 125 to 123-ish. You know, as you can tell, I never really give like specific levels, just because levels kind of, you know, you want to use them as an area, not really like a specific point. If you kind of use a specific point, that's kind of how you get faked out, because you'll see, you know, you may see it go above or below by like 20 cents, and you're like, okay, that's my entry. But kind of want to treat it as an area, because, you know, you get these wicks where things don't really stick. Microsoft. Wow. Interesting close today, bringing us right to some support. You know, that prior resistance now acting as support again, where it bounced here. Yeah, if you can get this short under, I'd probably go under 300. I'd probably take it down to 293, 294. Or you can even go as far as 283 if that 200 EMA doesn't hold. But, you know, at some support here, could hold up, could not hold up. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Yeah. Well, let's see, we got any more? Snap. Oh gosh, I know this is gonna be bad. Yeah, snaps. I was kind of expecting and hoping for it to kind of stay in this area, start to form a base, but, you know, that downgrade today did not help us out at all. And you know, it's got a lot of room if it finally breaks down. This is really the last stop before, you know, you can see a move back to 29 to fill that gap that we have down here. I would be really careful if you're taking on a bullish trade here. You know, unless market sentiment is good tomorrow and you can kind of get a bounce here, but, you know, this MACD is just ugly. You kind of saw some divergence there. You know, that looks like it's going to keep heading down. I'd say probably you can look for support around 34.80, but, you know, under 39, you get that put short down to 34, 35. Probably bounce around there before ultimately trying to fill that gap down to 28. So got a lot of room to run to the downside. But, you know, this selling just kind of seems a little overextended, you know, but we'll see what comes. Yeah, I should probably sell my shares. I've been holding shares for a couple years, but can't bring myself around to selling all of them. I've sold a couple, but not all of them, just because I feel like it's a good play, you know, heading into the future and metaverse and whatnot. Apparently it's a good metaverse play, so we shall see. Amazon, I don't even want to chart this. This is just, I hate this. All this choppiness right here, it's no fun. Yeah. You can go to the weekly or the monthly. This is what I spoke about this on the last stream. We saw a major breakdown of that 50 EMA before going up and retesting that. If Amazon really starts to correct, you'll probably see this move down to, I don't want to go as far as saying 25, because that's kind of a pretty deep pullback. But, I'd probably say, that's about where I would think to go, really, 2,500. But that just kind of seems like it's a little too much. I'd probably look for this bottom here right at, 2870s. So keep an eye on Amazon. It's probably going to be a good short in the next couple weeks. Unless you really want to see it kind of reclaim this support right here, get back above that 50 EMA. Then you could probably see a move back to this resistance up top here. So keep an eye on that one for sure. Baba, this one screwed me the other day. I should have just held it though. Oh, should have just held it. So we got this pretty long-term, resistance or key level here. Was support, acted as resistance for a little bit. Support until, just the last, half year. It's been kind of using this as some pretty strong resistance. So I took on a trade, 2 days ago. I kind of took it up here at this resistance level. Saw this gap up the next day, and then up having to get stopped out, which is kind of unfortunate because I still kind of think this is a bearish play. Yeah, but I'd like to see that. Let's see. See, there you got that golden cross though, so that's pretty cool for that. Like I said earlier, that's a bullish move or a bullish indicator. But I just don't have faith in Baba at all, so I'd probably look for more of a bearish play on this. Let's see if we got anything else. All right. Let's go to the weekly. Okay. Yeah, another thing that volume node, price has been sticking to that pretty accurately. These EMAs getting pretty tight here, so that could suggest there's a pretty large move coming here. Could be bearish, could be bullish. You just got to kind of wait and see how it reacts off these EMAs. As you can see, they're kind of chopping in between here now. But like I said earlier, you got that scalp wick basically on everything from just the other day, with that gap down to closing green. So you could look for that to fill 315. Might not be a bad play. Lucid, let's see what we got. Yeah, man, those fibs just continue to play out. But you see, like this here, this is why I don't really set a specific a specific number as a key level. It's kind of got to be seen as an area, because you see these wicks, right? Yeah, you could have seen it over 54.50 and taken that trade, but at the same time, you see a lot of these wicks happen. Starting to play these fibs pretty clearly. I would probably look for a bounce at 40. You could probably get a nice reversal there, because you kind of got this support from this 50 EMA around that area, 40, 39-ish level. But anything under that, anything under 39, I'd probably look for a move back to 34. But yeah. Lucid. Yeah. Got you, bro. Did fill that gap, though. So. I don't know. I don't really like trading Lucid. It's just got crazy IV. Not worth it for me. AMC, we already talked about. Neo. Still kind of like this on a larger time frame. You got some support down here, but you know, you got that death cross. That's not very good. Along with, you know, all small caps and everything getting wrecked. You know, I'd probably look for a bounce off this support level. Seems to hold pretty well. You know, but it held while these moving averages were, you know, not bad, but this is just bad. That's bad. You don't want to see that. So keep an eye on this one. Let's look at the shorter time frame. Kind of right at, oop, shit. Not what I wanted. Not what I wanted at all. Remove. Yeah, so you got some support there, but I'd probably say anything under 30, I'd look for a move back to 27-ish. So keep that on your radar. And you got these kind of playing pretty tightly here. So definitely keep that one on your radar. All right. Ford. Did we talk about Ford? I think we talked about Ford. Yeah. PayPal is still holding the support. You know, I really want to go long. Just snatch some shares up for a move back to 212. You know, forming a bottom down here. But this MACD right here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. That's kind of looking ugly. That's looking like it's going to go for another move down. And you got this 50 EMA approaching pretty quickly. Yeah, so I'd probably watch that. Anything under 178, probably look for a short play. You even got a gap down here from 139 to 129. Interesting gap. Let's check Square. What's Square doing? Ugh. See, there's that death cross again. You know, if you would have probably taken this here on that death cross on a short position at like 200, you'd be up $70. So, you know, not too shabby. That's why I like kind of playing these death crosses. You know, it gives you a good idea of where things are heading. And I think that's just kind of forewarning AMC and GameStop as you're kind of starting to see that form here. So, I mean, you could even take a short position, but I'd probably go a little bit longer expiration on it just so you can, you know, capitalize on the move and not have to worry about getting out of it or getting in it. You know what I mean? So, let's see. How long is this? Okay. Not gonna do Coinbase. What is this doing? Oh yeah, still trending down. There's that death cross again. You're seeing this death cross on a lot of different a lot of different of these smaller cap names, a lot of these growth stock favorites that were, favorites for, 2020 and into 2021, but they've just been getting wrecked into this new year. So I'd probably say your best bet is probably just trade the FANG names, trade the high flying names, just because you can get a bigger move out of those versus, Palantir. You might take it at 15, but that's really only moved to 17. That's not really, not much. But you could take this short down pretty low. And Kathy keeps buying it, so that's bearish. Speaking of Kathy, let's check her out. Look. What do you know? Another death cross. It's just like clockwork now. This could also be seen as the Wyckoff theory. Accumulation and distribution. If you haven't checked it out, you should probably check it out. Yeah, see? You got right here accumulation, markup, distribution, markdown. It's kind of what you're seeing in a lot of these names lately, is that markdown phase that we're in. It's unfortunate, but that's Wyckoff for you. Kathy's ship is sinking. Yes, it is. Very fast. She's got a lot of holes in that boat. DWAC. Yeah, this is something I talked about the other day too. I was looking for anything above this 76 area. You could probably get some nice momentum above that. I could even go as far as saying 120, but yeah, definitely wouldn't touch it. Anything below 77. Probably look for that above that, and yeah. I kind of like trading these retracements, because you can go here and draw this Fibonacci. And just so y'all know, I only have the 0, the 50, and the 100 along with the extensions, just because those are kind of the major points, major levels to watch. So anything above this 77 area, you probably look for 100. That would be a good spot to 77 to 100. That's a pretty good trade. So let's see, Roblox. I know that's yeah. So like I said, filling that scout wick. This is kind of what I'm thinking we'll see on a lot of those other names I talked about earlier, with all these big scout wicks down here. You'll kind of see this number where it goes and fills that wick. It doesn't always hit. Like as you can see here, this kind of never filled that wick. But a lot of times it does, and it can be used pretty effectively. Let me go in a smaller. Yeah, so you got some support down here with a double bottom. You might get a bounce here up to 84. Not a bad trade. Just not for me. Disney, I haven't looked at them in a while. Interesting play here. Kind of get somewhat of a bear flag going on. Or you could even look at it as a rising wedge. That's pretty bearish. Testing that 50 EMA, kind of selling off pretty hard off of that level. I'd probably look to take a short position under 153. Yeah, anything under 153. I'd look for a move to 145. yeah, it does have two gaps. Kind of got that gap to fill to the upside. So it's really anybody's game here. You know, you could, if you get this hold above the 50 EMA and start to push more, you could see 163 in play. And then once 163 is in play, you got that 200 EMA at 165. You know, that's kind of playing some, going to be some resistance there. Ultimately, you got a gap fill at 173. So there's two ways you can play this. You just got to, you know, you can't really have a bias beforehand. You just kind of got to play what you see and play what's given. Let's see. Where is it? TSM. They had a hell of a day today. Oh, never mind. End of the day red. Did they red? No. Starting to curl over here. You got a double bottom here. Well, kind of like a, not really double bottom, but kind of. You could see a move 136 if this bearish continues into tomorrow, just to fill that gap maybe, or at least partially fill the gap. And then anything under 135, I'd look to take to 132 to complete the gap fill. The daily, pretty interesting. Got new all-time highs before, you know, getting the rug pull. So yeah, 135 could be a good place to buy for a bounce, but looking pretty bearish for the time being. Oh yeah, we got banks tomorrow. Interesting move here. And when you look at the banks, you kind of gotta, especially now this year, you kind of gotta look at the treasuries to see what they're doing, because you see this big jump here, and then you go and look at the 10-year, where you see the same move, right? And you're seeing kind of this is that breakout retest I was talking about earlier. Breakout, retest that prior resistance to see if that's now support. If this breaks, you'll probably see that come back down to 156, but it's not looking like it's going to be that way. Looking like yields are probably going to continue. But let's go back to BAC. We got earnings tomorrow. So, you know, this could go any way. Really, it could. I kind of think they're going to get a nice, strong bullish move out of them. Just as they all, you know, kind of say that their guidance for the next year or so, it's going to be pretty good considering they're going to be raising rates. So definitely keep an eye on the banks tomorrow. That's probably going to be a big play. What else we got? Ow, my back is killing me. Yep, tested that 50 EMA again. Broke down. It's so typical that you see this. I'd look for that support level at 2660. That's been a good level. Or, you know, you could even go as 2680. That would be a good spot too. Everything is just getting axed lately. Yeah, if you guys got any others you want me to look up, just feel free to type it in the chat. Oh shit, my stream is 10 minutes behind? Dude. Oh wait, never mind, I'm tripping. Let's check crypto. What's Bitcoin doing? Ooh, getting so close to breaking that neckline, but like I said, you got that death cross. You know, last time we saw this death cross here when it was at some support, didn't really pan out how you kind of could expect it to. Got right back above that pretty quick. So, you know, you could look for it to do the same move here, over here, that it did over here. But you also got that head and shoulders. Kind of got a head and shoulder over here that didn't really play out either. kind of held that neckline. It's kind of doing the same thing right now, so definitely keep an eye on that for sure. Ethereum. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, no. Pushing that 200 EMA. Bouncing off some support down here. But you know, this will probably just follow Bitcoin. Typically. Sheesh. I'm gonna go here. This seems like a better line to draw. I just don't understand how people see value in these shit coins. I really don't. Yeah, it had a nice run, but what's the value behind it, you know? If any at all. Failing pretty hard there. What is that? 0.000002. Probably see it fall back there. You got 200 EMA down there too, so. Let me hit the Discord. Let's see if anybody got any charts they want to share. Oh, Chriso, you're in the chat. I didn't realize. He's probably not doing it. Not talking. Yeah, I don't really have anything else I really wanted to talk about. That was kind of it. Just wanted to go over some charts. Talk about what I think for tomorrow. Looking like it might be, you know, it could really go any way. You could see a little gap down, come down here, pull back and bounce, or you could see a little bounce here. So it's really anybody's game. It's probably best to stay on the sidelines if you're, you know, if you're not comfortable trading, especially at such a uncertain spot, because really it could go anywhere from here. So kind of just have to see what tomorrow brings and react to that. All right, everybody's gone. Cool. Well, I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe. Make some money. And yeah, hit me up if you need me. I'll be around.